Welcome back to the Force Nines YouTube channel, welcome back to Football Manager 2018 and the Maidstone United save, and welcome to the Sky Bet Championship. Last episode we achieved our third successive promotion with Maidstone, finishing second place in the League 1 table, and with my promotion to the Championship. In this episode, our very first game in the new division. It's difficult, it's away against Queen's Park Rangers, who we have faced in the save before. I think it was an FA Cup game or maybe a League Cup game. We have faced them before. And this season is going to be, I say it's going to be tougher every year, but every year so far we've gone up. But this year I think it's going to be 10 times harder. I mean, who knows, we could defy the odds again and get a 4th straight promotion and get into the Premier League. But that's not, I don't think that's going to happen this time. I think this time we are going to be in for a relegation fight. If you're enjoying this series, make sure you drop a like down below, leave comments, and if you want to see videos as and when they turn up on YouTube, do hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to receive updates if I upload or go live, and don't forget to follow me on social media so you don't miss any of my content. Yes, so last episode was a defeat to Rotherham and then a 5-1 thrashing of Crewe in which Ellis Sim scored 4 goals to send us up to the Sky Bet Championship. We're joined by Middlesbrough, who destroyed the league this season, and Crewe winning the playoffs, so both Maidstone and Crewe getting back-to-back promotions. Bradford, Northampton, Southend and Plymouth got relegated. In the Championship, Derby, Sunderland and Norwich got promoted to the Premier League. Blackburn Rovers, Bolton and Luton got relegated to League 1. So these are the teams that we're going to deal with this season. There are some very good teams in here. In terms of the Premier League, Newcastle, Brighton and Burnley all got relegated, all on 30 points. Man City won the league. In fact, this league table I think is exactly the same as the one that's just finished. I think that's the exact same league table, and it's 2021. So that's quite interesting actually. But yeah, if we have a look at the media predictions, you can see that ourselves, Crewe and MK Dons are the 3 favourites to get relegated. But every year for like 3 years we've been favourites to finish bottom, and we've ended up getting promoted. I don't see this happening again, not for a 4th time in a row, but it's going to be a very hard season. Newcastle were predicted to win the Championship, Brighton and Villa to round out the top 3. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting season no matter how you spin it. So you might be asking, Andy, who have you brought in and who has left? Well, let's first of all look at the players that have left the club. So Tom Holland, Rich Durl, Jack Hartley, Lewis O'Brien, Andreas Edmondson and Dan Thomas have all left the club on free transfers. Have any of them been picked up yet? Lewis O'Brien has been picked up by Macclesfield. There's a few players been brought in. We've got a lot of money to spend in this transfer window. We had over £1 million given to us. So let's see who I brought in. We'll start with a goalkeeper, and it is Mitchell Beanie, who we signed from Hartlepool. £80,000 is the fee at the moment, but it could rise to 90. That we have to pay him another 10,000 if he plays 20 league games. We do still have Robbie Thompson, so you know, we have 2 good goalkeepers, and I think they will rotate in and out of the season depending on form. But Mitchell Beanie is a good goalkeeper. He's 4 stars. Goalkeeping attributes are good. He's a good leader. Decision making's good. Physically, you know, he's fine. He's 6'6", so very big goalkeeper, and hopefully will help us to keep some more clean sheets this season. We have signed Chris Mepham on loan from Brentford. He's a centre back, 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. Last season he had a loan spell with Leyton Orient in the National League. He is here this season with us. 12, 13 and 12 in the technical attributes. Some good 12s and 13s there. 15 determination. Strong. Attributes are declining a little bit, which I hope isn't going to happen for much longer. But Chris Mepham's in on loan. We need another centre-back because Edmondson left, and I thought, you know, I'm not relying too much on loans this season. At the moment, this is the only player we have in on loan because the affiliation with Cardiff has been severed because we're now in the same division. So we have no senior affiliate and we're not being allowed to have one. So, yeah, loans are going to be fewer. I think we had 5 loans last season. This is the only one so far. There might be one more. I've still got a couple of players which are on the way in. So there might be as many as 8 or 9 players coming in this transfer window, and there's still a month left. I've gone for a bit of youth as well because our centre-backs, we only really have, the only good ones we have are the ones that were in our senior team. We've got no good centre-backs in our youth teams. So I went out and I got Matt Downs, who is an Irish centre-back. He's 18. He last played as a youngster for Southampton but didn't have any games for them. Marking of 11. He's brave. Some of the physicals are good. He's got the 5-star potential. So we'll hopefully see this guy very soon. I don't think he's ready for first team football just yet, but maybe if we get some cup games or stuff like that, he could play. Or if we have like a catastrophe at centre back and we have loads of injuries, he'll play. But yeah, very much one for the future is Matt Downs. Moving on to a right midfield, and we have Mamadou Lamba, who is from Guinea-Bissau, signed from Sheffield Wednesday, £175,000. He's been on a couple of spells with Porto. He was at Porto, and he had a loan spell at this team here, Viseu, which I'm not too familiar with. But he's a right midfielder, he's a winger, he's done very well pre-season, got a couple of goals and got 4 assists in the pre-season friendlies. First touch of 15 is very good, he's a good crosser of the ball and a good dribbler. Passing's not too good, but hopefully he'll be doing more crosses than actual passes. He's got a bit of pace about him as well, he's 21, hopefully it'll be a good season. We didn't really have any right midfielders, and this is still the only one we have. So I will be looking to go out and get one more. The only other one we have is Freddie Murray, who's a youngster. We need another right midfielder, really. Most expensive player we've signed is Danny Rowe, who's a left midfielder. So him and Taylor Neal are going to be playing out there. £200,000 is the most we paid for a player so far this series. He's had a few seasons with Bradford, and he was a prominent player for them last season. 42 appearances and averaged 6.82, which isn't too bad. He got 5 goals and 5 assists. So again, not a bad player. It looks like technicals are all decent. Work rate's not too bad. Pace is pretty good. Fortunately, though, he's injured for 2 weeks, so he can't play today. Clive Calcutt is a free agent. He's 18. He's an advanced playmaker. 12 passing, 16 flair. Bit of pace again, 14 pace, not too bad. Last played as a youngster for Leicester, and he's with us now. I think he will play here and there. We do need some playmakers. We didn't really have any because Tom Holland's left and Spencer's gone back to Cardiff. So we do need to have... we've got a couple of DLPs coming in, actually, which I've almost finalised. And lastly, it's Jaden Antwi, who is a Ghanaian. Last played for Accrington Stanley on loan. He played for AFC Wimbledon. Got 14 goals in the National League last time round. Back up to the Championship. And this is the thing about us being in the division we're in. We shouldn't be in this division. We are well out of our depth. So he may be 3.5 star, but that still means that he's a good player for most League 2 sides, which is 2 divisions below where we are. So that tells us that we are a League 2 calibre side. We are probably well out of our depth. So that is it so far, but there are a couple of other players coming in. I'll show you those. We've got 2 midfielders here. One is Teddy Bishop from Charlton, who is a playmaker. It's someone that we need, and he's on the way in. £60,000 bids. We're just waiting for it to be finalised. He's agreed a contract, so we're just waiting for that to be confirmed. And the other player, Tom Overtoom, signed from Almere City, which is in the Netherlands. He's 30 years old. We're paying £110,000 again. We're just waiting on the confirmation. The contract's been agreed. So we have got a couple of playmakers coming in, so hopefully they will be good. I do want to sign one more target man, and then I think that will be all we need. Maybe a right midfielder. So we do still have maybe 2 more players to come in. Still got loads of room in the transfer budget and a bit of wage to play with. So yeah, happy with the team so far. We've got a bit of work to do, but I think we should be okay in at least putting up a fight to avoid relegation, which is what we're expected to do. Pre-season has gone well. Ignore the 8-0 defeat to our under-23s because I made all my senior players available for the under-23s, which meant that I could only play the under-18s in the first team, which made no sense. And they lost 8-0 and Jamal Loza scored 5 goals. So yeah, that happened. But in the other friendlies, we had a draw against Nottingham Forest where it was no goal and then O'Connor scoring for Forest. Eastbourne Borough were won 2-0, Lambert and Loza scoring. Draw against Wrexham where McCourt scored. Against the Spurs under-23s, we're on 3-1. Sims, Loza and McCourt scoring. 5-0 win over Aveley. 2 goals for Rowe, 1 for Metcalf, a penalty for Loza and a goal for Neil. 2-0 win over Cheltenham, Loza got 2. And a 6-0 win over Kings Langley, Loza got 5 and Craig Reynolds scored. So, on to the actual season itself. QPR are our first opponents. In the EFL Cup first round, we are playing Wickham. No real derby games in there. Of course, Gillingham are quite a way below us now. But the Boxing Day game is against Brentford. We finish against Brentford. So yeah, that's the season. So we'll just we'll stop every 5 or 6 games to do a live com. So I think after QPR we'll probably do something like Cardiff or Barnsley. that's the plan. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. We do have a new chairman, which I think I mentioned last time. Unfortunately, he's not willing to pump too much money into the club, so we did have to take out a bank loan. But because we are in the Championship, we do now get money from TV games. We have televised matches, and I think one of them might be coming very soon, actually. At the moment, the only one is the Boxing Day match against Brentford, but I think there will be some televised Championship games coming very soon. Like, I think Ipswich might be. It's on a Tuesday night. So, yeah, hopefully we get some television money. And we're looking good. Balance is 350 grand. So, yeah, that's not bad at all. So, for our first game of the season, unfortunately, we've got some injuries. Loza being one of them. He's out for up to 3 weeks with a groin injury, which isn't good. Joe Pigott has just come back from an injury. He missed the entirety of pre-season, which isn't good. Jack McCourt is suspended. He still has one match to serve from last season where he got a red card, his third red card. Meant that he had a 3-match ban, so he missed the final 2 games and he will miss the first game of this season. And Danny Rowe, of course, is injured as well. And also Calca is injured as well. He's out for a couple of weeks with a twisted ankle, but he's in our under-23s, so I might have to move him up. So this is the team that's going to play against Queen's Park Rangers. Mitchell Beanie will be making his debut in goal. Back 4 of Connor Wood, Mepham making his debut, Finney and Claxton, Taylor Neal, Callum Guy and Lee Metcalf, Lambert making his competitive debut as is Antwi. Ellis Sims playing as the target man, going to try a different role with him. He is best as a poacher, but playing 2 poachers doesn't really make sense. On the bench, Parks, Burley, McDonald, Bigger Munganga, who I think I might have shown you, 17-year-old central midfielder, going to try and give him some games this season. Freddie Murray also on the bench, Alex Winter and Joe Pigott. Actually going to change Reynolds for Parks. We only need 1 centre-back on the bench, and it can be Burley. Winter, but Burley's a left back. Alright, we're on defensive and highly structured. That's mainly what we're going to be playing this season, and this is I'm going to leave this as it is. This is pretty much what I was playing all of last season, so that is the tactic we're going to go with. Let's submit the team. Okay, now we're into the Championship. You might start recognising a few more players. If you follow League 1 or League 2, then you will recognise some people. But here, let's have a look at the Queen's Park Rangers team. They're playing a 3-5-2 with wing backs. They've got Nidim Manua still at the back, James Chester. They've got Carl Norton, Masamu Luongo's there. They've got Region there in central midfield. Mendes and Diamande up top. On the bench, I don't recognise too many of these players, but it's going to be a very difficult season. I'm going to say there's no pressure on us. Let's see what happens. I'm not expecting anything from this. Let's just see how many goals we concede. So Queen's Park Rangers versus Maidstone. First game of our Championship campaign. 16 minutes into the game, we have a free kick here. It's headed away by Diamande, but Taylor Neal has it back. And here's Callum Guy, back to Neal. And Metcalf now. Now, can he create a chance for someone maybe? Guy's got it. And we could be seeing our first chance of the season here, but it's headed away by Pineos. But Lambert's got it now, and it could be another cross into the box here if Lambert can get one away. And it was going towards goal, actually. Staying with it here, Murphy's got it. And now Scowen. And finds on the left flank Pineos. And the cross is in there. And it's held on. And it's been shot over. But 3 shots so far for Queen's Park Rangers. None for us. But it's no goals. And, coming up to half hour, so far so good. We haven't conceded. And we've got a goal kick in. Mitchell Beanie on his debut. Let's see if he can maybe pull off a few saves and keep a clean sheet. That's what I want in the season. We'll see what happens. Murphy on the ball now for the Hoops. Luongo to Scowen. And here is Mendes. Pulls it back, and now Murphy, and almost gave it away there. Headed forward again by Claxton. Murphy now. Scowen. Good tackle there by Callum Guy. And now Antby's got it. And now Neal. And can we maybe go long here? That's a good long ball. Sims, can he get to this? No, he can't, but he's been let through, and he scores. I hit the microphone, I don't care. 31 minutes. Ellis Sims scores our first goal of the Championship, and we are leading at Loftus Road. That's a fantastic thing to say. We're winning at Loftus Road. But yeah, I mean, it's not good defending. Nedim Manua just completely gifted the ball to Ellis Sims there. We have been gifted a goal, but I don't care how they go in. And Rangers with a corner here, and Anua, and it's headed away only as far as Norton though. And Luongo with a shot, and that's wide. And hopefully we can keep QPR at bay. Let's just tighten up a little bit and get into half time with this lead, and that could be huge. Imagine the headlines if on our first game in the Championship we get an away win against QPR. That's massive. They've had 11 shots, but no goals from them. And that is half time, and we are leading 1-0. Excellent work. Tactic-wise, I'm going to stick the discipline on. The only booking so far is Lee Metcalf. That's not too bad. I'll leave the defensive line as normal. I think we'll just leave that as it is pretty much and just try and be a bit more disciplined. In the second half, I mean, we're still leading. If it stays that way, then I'd be a happy bunny. I mean, if a draw is fine. I'm happy with a draw. Less than 2 minutes into the second half here. Metcalf's on the ball. Looks for one of the strikers. Doesn't quite get there. Lamber's got it now, though. And that's a good cross. And it's gone in the goal. Lamber. I mean, there's no way he meant that. That was an absolute fluke of a goal. But we are 2-0 up. And it was less than 2 minutes into the second half. We are winning 2-0. And that was an absolute fluke of a goal. And the clearance bounced off one of his own players. And then Lamber with a cross. And I don't know what happened. I think the goalkeeper may have been taken out then. It looked like Bain got taken out. But nothing given at all. Things going extremely well. Lamber and Sims on the score sheet. Other than that, I mean, the goalkeeper's doing well. Mepham's playing well. Other than that, no real standout players, really. Mepham's been the best player on the pitch, which is good because it's a good signing, it seems. But an hour into the game, we still lead 2-0. They've had 17 shots, QPR, and they haven't scored a goal. There might be a goal coming here. It's a set piece, but it's not gone in and it's cleared by Mepham. And still we lead 2-0. I don't know how QPR haven't scored in this game. Right, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to take off Neil and I'm going to bring someone into central midfield. I'm going to bring on MacDonald, I think. Automatic central midfielder. And then I'll leave Lambert out wide. We'll just leave this left side as it is. I think that's fine. Just Burley can go up and down there. And I feel like, or Wood rather, not Burley. And I feel like Mepham can cover if Wood's going forward. So I think that's fine. QPR on the ball here. Carl Norton finds Patterson. And it's cleared. Not very far though. How has that stayed out? How has that stayed out? 20 minutes left in the game. We still lead 2-0. Antwi's not really impacted the game very much. So we are going to move Sims to that poacher role. We're going to bring on Joe Piggott. Hasn't played at all pre-season, as I mentioned. So his match fitness is awful. But I'll give him 20 minutes here. See what he can do. Going to praise the team because they're doing excellently out there. Let's just close them down a little bit more. Last 10 minutes of the game. We're going contain. I can't believe we're still winning this. I mean, we're 2-0 up and we're close to injury time now. Claxton with a throw here. And the ball is given away. And now Murphy. QPR are going to have to score very soon if they've got any chance of trying to rescue a point here. Norton with a cross. And it's a good header. And it's Callum Patterson at 90th minute of the game. Pulls one back for QPR. Now can we keep him quiet for injury time? There's 4 minutes. Right, Lambert's going to come off. Munganga's going to come on. And hopefully we can see this out. And just a few seconds left. We still lead 2-1 and it's our goal kick. Now all you've got to do is just hold on to the ball and we'll be absolutely fine. But there's just seconds left and Queen's Park Rangers are on the ball. Here's Carl Norton. Anua, who, of course, made that horrible mistake for one of the goals. Header forward by someone. I don't know who it was. And the whistle's going to blow any second, surely. Surely. Claxton with a header away. MacDonald clears it further up pitch. Pineos for QPR. Good header by Mepham. Luongo to Patterson. And a great clearance by Mepham. He's been an absolute rock at the back today. But Pineos now. The whistle is still not blown. We are 4.5 minutes into injury time. Only 4 were meant to be played. And that is full time. There we go. That had me worried for a second then. But we have won our first game. We beat QPR away from home. 2-1. Queen's Park Rangers had 26 shots, 7 on target. Only the 1 goal to show for it. So, yeah. It's a fantastic result. Really good. That happened last season though. You know, expected to finish bottom. We won our first game of the season. I think it was Plymouth. And this time we've won at Loftus Road. So, couldn't have asked for a better start to the season. Good thing about being in the Championship now is that we've almost doubled the amount of season tickets we sold from last season. And I think the stadium is being worked on still, if it's not already done. Expand stadium, yeah. So expansion is in the process as well. I think we're getting about another 2,000 seats. So that's good. So we've got Wickham in the first round of the EFL Cup, and then we've got Villa, Ipswich, Bristol City and Wolves. I feel like the second round of the Cup might be sort of around here, so I think we'll be doing Cardiff next time. An old parent club of ours, of course, senior affiliate, so that might be interesting to do. We'll maybe come up against some players that we've previously owned, but I think we'll do Cardiff next time round. If you've enjoyed the video, then do me a favour and give it a big thumbs up for me. Leave comments, and if you want to see videos as and when they're turned up on YouTube, do hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to receive updates if I upload or go live. And don't forget to follow me on social media so you don't miss any of my content. If you're new, this is a great place to start the series. You know, you don't have to start it right from the start. This is a good place to start because, you know, it's right at the start of a new season. So, you know, if you're new, then hopefully you will stick by and continue watching. So that's really what the idea is for this as well. Is just try and get some new viewers in. You know, start of a season is a perfect time to start watching. And, you know, if you want to go and catch up on the first 47 episodes, then be my guest. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.